Well, good morning and welcome to Cityline. It is great to be in your home this morning. This morning is August 3rd, and we have a great hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be talking with two individuals who are here to talk about the Tahoma Dome documentary. They've been letting out little quick snippets of air about this documentary, but we'll get a chance to talk to two of the people who figure prominently in the creation of our Tahoma Dome documentary. Then, of course, Rod and Ilona will be here doing the history of the Port of Tacoma book, and of course with the Northwest Room. You don't want to miss that. These books are treasures. And if you have young people in your life, you need to have all of these books so they know about where they live. Also, we have Symphony Tacoma here. We have three people who will be talking about the upcoming season, and then they are going to play for us. So get ready for that. And then with me right now is somebody who I thought I lost forever during the pandemic. He has stolen my heart the moment I met him because he is from Scotland, and my family is all Scottish. We're talking about Mr. Stuart Earley. You are the Executive Director of the Tahoma Audubon Society. I haven't seen you for 3 years.
I know, it's been
Welcome
ages.
back.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back.
It's so great to have you here. My gosh. A lot has happened in 3 years. So last time we visited, you were at the Humane Society. So what brought you to the Tahoma Audubon Society of all places?
Well, the Humane Society is a great organization.
It is.
And I was there as CEO for a bit short of 5 years. And during that time, we achieved a lot. We broke a lot of records. I think we've saved thousands of animals.
Yes.
And particularly during the pandemic, I think we were saving more animals, I think, than any other two shelters put together.
Right.
So I think we broke the 21-year adoption record.
Whoa!
And hopefully they'll continue breaking records.
Yes.
there. I think we doubled the donor base to over 28,000. We increased revenue streams by 160%. And we introduced a lot of new programs, which I hope hopefully are still going strong.
Pet of the Week, which we're going to have here in a few seconds.
Absolutely, and we introduced education programs, pet counselling, and dog play groups, which as dog owners we know that's so fantastic.
That is.
And I think whilst the Humane Society is great, you're saving thousands of animals. Tahoma Audubon Society is about protecting birds and nature, and that's actually saving hundreds of thousands of animals.
Absolutely.
So that's why that appealed, and that's why I'm here.
That's a huge difference between when you think about, this is my example, a teacup versus a bathtub in terms of what you're saving and in terms of the impact you have. Tell us about the Tahoma Audubon Society and what it does, because when I think about it, I think about a duck quack. I think about Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny, and shooting animals and poof in the air. I'm sure that's not exactly what the Audubon does.
No, we do a little bit more than that.
Okay, good.
I think we basically we're there to protect birds and nature, and I think you've got to look at things in a global context. And I start with one of the reasons that drove me here was in the UK. Thousands of acres of woodland is being lost every year.
Oh.
And when Emma and I moved over here, we moved over in 2018, and a woodland we used to walk in all the time with our dogs we went back and it was gone, been chopped down completely. And that was home to hundreds of endangered red squirrels, thousands of birds, deer.
What's there now?
It's just dead. It's just
they just took everything out.
Just felled everything.
Oh.
So it's just horrible. And you think of all that, those homes lost for all those birds and animals, and that was one of the drivers that led me to Tahoma Audubon, because I want to do something. And also in the US, this is just a horrendous statistic. In the last 50 years, we have lost 3 billion birds in the US.
3 billion with a B.
Yes, with a B. And there's some dispute as to whether that was 1/3 of the total or 25% of the total, but 3 billion is a huge number. And it's accelerating, because what you're seeing now is a lot of feral cat predation, and where you've got a lot of high buildings, like in New York, there's a lot of bird strikes where they fly into the buildings, and we're losing literally hundreds of millions of birds a year across the US that way.
So how do we, I mean, that is such a huge number in a short amount of time, to be losing that many birds. So what can we do to stop this?
Well, I think it's a global problem.
Yeah.
And to give an example, this may sound crazy, but across the world, we are losing 15 billion, with a B again, trees every year.
Oh my.
And it's a really huge number. And we can only really sort of pull things back if we work together. This is all about finding local solutions to global problems.
Yes.
And if we can work together, we can sort of find solutions. And for example, if everyone in Tacoma planted a tree in their yards,
Yes.
that starts to make a huge difference.
It does.
So it's trying to pull people together to try and put solutions, local solutions together that will actually help solve global problems.
Absolutely. And you know, we look at something here in Tacoma, which I know you know about, and that's the equity index. And trees are a part of the equity index in terms of people coming together, people building homes, but also people saving those precious spaces. So I have to say, I suspect a lot of our viewers, as we're showing pictures here, didn't know what the Tahoma Audubon Society did before you told us in terms of protecting birds. I didn't know they also protected habitat. Do you see that as a problem given where we are right now as we sit on this set?
Yes, it is a problem.
Yeah.
People don't know what the Audubon Society is or what it does. Before I came here, I asked 4 friends, pretty intelligent friends, apart from the fact they're friends of mine. And I asked, do you know what the Audubon Society does? I think one said it's something to do with German autobahns.
Oh, that kind of Audubon.
Yes. One said it was some sort of scientific institute.
Okay.
And one did actually come close and said it's to do with birds. He says it's like Audubon's like an eagle or an owl.
Oh, it's a classification of a certain type of bird.
Yeah, so they didn't know what it was. And I think a lot of people don't, because I think the Audubon name comes from the works of a guy called John Audubon, who created this series of books, The Birds of America, almost 200 years ago. But the fact that people don't know what we do is a real problem. And so I wanted to come here today and give you guys a bit of a scoop as to what we're going to do about it. Well, the unfortunate thing is, talking about Audubon, is he was unfortunately, someone who was a slave trader.
He was racist.
Yep, he bought
Let's
himself.
just call it like it is.
Yes. I'd say he's almost a white supremacist.
Oh, even
because
worse.
he would desecrate indigenous people's burial grounds to try and prove that they were subhuman. He advocated for slavery at a time when half the US states had abolished slavery. And he actually would regularly shoot over 100 birds a day.
Oh.
And what people didn't realize was, yes, he got these wonderful paintings of birds in naturalistic poses because he shot them and then rigged them with wires to paint them.
No, Stuart, what an awful story.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, this is our responsibility as advantaged white people, is to find these stories, bring them to light, and then to do something about it. So what is the Tahoma Audubon Society going to do about this person whose legacy is less than stellar?
Yeah, well, I think we were all conscious of the issues, the fact that people didn't know who we were, and when they looked up the Audubon name, there were very, very dark connotations to that.
Yes.
So we did a lot of research, we talked to a lot of people, we consulted our members, and our membership, we asked them their opinions on this. We got a response from 22% of our members. I'm glad to say 79% were in favor of changing our name, and only 14% were against.
Okay.
So the board last week decided unanimously that we are going to change our name.
I
So
love that.
now we are going forward, and I'm breaking this news on your program.
It's a scoop, as we say in journalism.
Because we want to consult more widely with our members, with the stakeholders, general public, and to ask people for their suggestions for a new name for the Audubon Society.
Exactly.
And so this is something we want to talk to people about.
All right. Okay. Stuart, there's never enough time for you and I, so I want to invite you back on the comfy couch when that name is solidified and gelled, and we're going to have a real celebration.
Okay, can I just ask two things of people?
Yes.
One is, if people have any name suggestions to us, please send them through to us.
And number two?
And the second thing is, we need members, because the more members we have, the more political weight we have.
All right.
So if people want to join us, they can do so for as little as $5 a month through our website.
Let's talk to your previous employer. The Humane Society is here. Stephanie, oh my goodness, who do you have with you that needs a forever home?
Well, this is Blue. Blue is a 3-year-old pit bull terrier. He is clearly the life of the party. Yes. He loves people very much, and he is a playgroup rock star. So he's actually really great with other dogs. We've noticed in our playgroups. Yeah, and he's just super sweet, super cuddly, loves attention, loves getting tons of pets.
You can tell he is the proverbial velvet hippo, isn't he? Just precious. The kind of home, would he do well with another pet, or does he need to be the only dog?
He could do well with another pet. Buddy, come here. He could do well with another dog, probably of the same size as him, which is pretty big. But he would do best maybe at home with teens and adults, but otherwise, yeah.
Does he give kisses?
Yeah, a little bit. There we go.
A little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, boy.
A little bit. He's more into cuddles than maybe kisses.
I love that. Well, we want to say thank you so much for bringing Blue to us today.
Yeah, of course.
Blue, we hope that somebody is watching who says, that's the dog for me. And thank you again, and we'll see you next week for our next Pet of the Week. And Stuart, I'll see you soon. We have much more to come on Cityline. Don't go away. We'll be right back.